In this video, I'm going to show you how to find the equation of a line of best fit. To do this, we're going to look at some data given in Get More Math. So when I look at the trend of the points in the scatter plot, I notice that the slope is downward. There's definitely a negative correlation happening here. So when I sketch my line of best fit, I wanted to go through some of the points, or a better way of saying it would be, I want all the points to be about an equidistant from that line of best fit. So this pink line that I sketched, I have about an equal amount above or below. And then I submit that on GMM, and when I do it, it usually draws this yellow line kind of on top of it, which is Get More Math's way of saying this line is a little bit better than the one you sketched. And that's the thing when you're sketching a line of best fit. It's kind of an approximation. So when we make our equation, we want to go by the yellow line that the program draws for you. So what you're going to do now is choose any 2 points that fall on that yellow line. So I'm going to go with, let's see, I'm going to go with this point right here, which I'm exaggerating. I'm going to figure out what that is. I'd say as an ordered pair, this point is something like 50. And then how much is it going down? I'd say each square is 100. So it looks like maybe 50, negative 60. It's a little more than halfway. And again, I'm approximating. And then I'm going to find one other point. I'm going to try to estimate this one here on the y-axis. So I would say that this point is 0, a little higher than 400, so maybe 410. All right. Now I'm going to use these 2 points to find my slope. So I subtract my y values. I'm going to do negative 60 minus 410 over 50 minus 0 gives me negative 470 over 50, which equals negative 9.4. But the directions on Get More Math say to round to the nearest integer, so I'm going to say negative 9. So I'm going to use negative 9 then to determine my b value. Well, since I actually picked a point right on the y-axis, I know that it is 410, but I just want to remind you that if you didn't choose that one, how to find it, you do y equals mx plus b, and you use one of your points to plug in. So I'm going to use negative 9 for my slope, and then I'm going to use 410 for my y, 0 for my x plus b. Negative 9 times 0 is 0, plus b equals 410, so I know that b is 410, which I already knew, but y equals negative 9x plus 410 is the equation of my line. Now, this final part on here gives me an ordered pair, and the ordered pair that they give is going to vary. This time they give me the y value. Sometimes they're going to give you the x. So I'm going to use this previous answer and I'm going to substitute for whatever letter they give me. So I write negative 400 equals negative 9x plus 410, and I solve this. So I subtract 410 from each side, which gives me negative 810 equals negative 9x, and I finish by dividing each side by negative 9, which gives me x equals positive 90. And that is rounded already to the nearest integer, but you would want to make sure that you didn't mess that up. Okay, just make sure when you check this, if you're all the way over at 90, would you be down here? Here would be, let me see, on the x-axis, this would be 70, 80, 90. Would you be down here near negative 400? And it seems like if this yellow line continued, you would be. So at least you know your answer makes sense. if you made it this far in the video, that's a good sign, because part of your assignment today is to submit something through Schoology. So, do you know the name of my dog? Don't quit my day job, right? I'm not a very good artist. Best dog in the world is Tank. Submit that in Schoology, so I know you've watched the video, and don't tell your neighbor. Make them watch the video. All right, one more question. You're going to be using your line of best fit to make predictions. Gary sold fuzzy hats at his store. Some days he kept track of the relationship between the maximum temperature and the number of hats sold. This scatter plot shows the data. So you should notice a negative correlation here. As the temperature increases, the hats sold decrease. So I would start by making a line of best fit. And I just missed this, but with this line tool, I can shift it upward. Okay, so I would say about right there is a good line of best fit, equal amount of points above and below. Now, based on the scatter plot, choose the best estimate of the maximum temperature if he sells 5 hats. So pay attention to what you are given. So hats is on the y-axis. Here's 5 hats. Don't go with 5 degrees. So 5 hats, that hits about right here. And if I am estimating what is that closest to, I'd say it's closer to 50 degrees, because I could argue that this line could possibly be a little bit steeper. So it's definitely closer to 50 than 55 if I made it a little bit steeper. Okay? All right, now move on to Get More Math and earn your 10 points during this class period. Make sure you are doing your algebraic work on pencil and paper and rounding to whatever it tells you to round to, or you're going to get the pink dot and you'll be wrong. All right, do your best.